Who would have imagined that after decades of devotion, Queen Camilla would be excluded from King Charles's will? This shocking decision, which has sent ripples throughout the palace, left the Queen Consort speechless and bewildered. What could possibly have led to such a drastic move? And what does this mean for the future of King Charles and Queen Camilla's relationship? Stay tuned as we reveal the details of this extraordinary royal drama. When news of King Charles's decision to leave Queen Camilla out of his will broke, it stunned the public and sent shockwaves through royal circles. How could the man who had fought for her love and stood by her side for so long leave her out of something so crucial to their future? To answer that, let's dive into the recent dynamics between the royals, a growing tension that had been brewing for months, unseen by the public eye. The unseen pressure on Queen Camilla. Behind the gilded walls of Buckingham Palace, trouble had been quietly simmering for months. For a couple who had once been seen as the very definition of love against all odds, the increasing strain in their relationship came as a shock, even to their closest confidants. Insiders whispered about an undeniable rift forming between King Charles and his Queen Consort, a rift so deep that it had begun to threaten their 20-year marriage. At the heart of the issue is King Charles's unrelenting stubbornness, compounded by his deteriorating health and the royal schedule so grueling that it would test even a man half his age. He's not listening to her anymore, an insider revealed to the National Enquirer. For Camilla, this was more than just a minor spat, it was a full-blown crisis. She had always been the only person King Charles trusted for advice, but now she found herself on the sidelines, her concerns ignored. Camilla, who has known Charles for over 50 years, has always been his greatest supporter and confidant. But now, that loyalty came with fear that her husband was pushing himself to an early grave. Since his cancer diagnosis earlier in the year, Charles's determination to carry on with royal duties had only intensified. Despite undergoing grueling chemotherapy treatments, the 75-year-old king refused to slow down. She begged him to cut back, the source revealed. His overseas tour to Australia next month? She pleaded for him to postpone it. But King Charles won't hear any of it. His response has been cold and unyielding. There's no point being king if you're not going to act like one, he keeps saying. For Camilla, it's beyond frustrating. To the outside world, Charles's dedication might seem admirable, but those closest to him saw it as borderline reckless. He believes the monarchy has to be seen to be believed, a palace insider said. He waited 70 years to take the throne, and is determined to leave his mark while he still can. He knows he'll never rival his mother, the late Queen Elizabeth II, but that's not stopping him. His mantra is, "Health be damned, the crown comes first." The tensions between the couple became more palpable during a supposed restful holiday to Balmoral Castle in Scotland. Charles had just undergone another round of chemotherapy. He barely had time to unpack before he was off again. His decision to abandon his scheduled vacation stunned everyone, especially Camilla. He had just participated in the traditional welcoming ceremony, a source said, and hours later, he was gone. Alone. King Charles had flown off to Southport, a town still reeling from a horrific tragedy, to meet with grieving families before returning to London for more cancer treatment, then heading back to Balmoral as though nothing had happened. Camilla was furious. She was beside herself, an insider shared. She begged him not to break off the trip. She knows what kind of toll this schedule is taking on his body. But Charles being Charles, he disregarded her completely. The emotional weight of the situation finally pushed Camilla to tears. After years of being branded the mistress who ruined Diana's marriage, Camilla had fought tooth and nail to earn her place at Charles's side. The thought of him collapsing and leaving her widowed and alone was almost too much to bear. She's terrified, a royal insider confided. Charles has lost weight. He looks frail. His health is visibly deteriorating, and yet he refuses to listen. Camilla isn't just worried about him dying, she's worried about her place in the palace if that happens. When Charles returned to their Highland retreat, the tension between them was palpable. It was like walking on ice, one insider said. Camilla barely spoke to him. She feels ignored, unappreciated, and shut out. She's the queen, for heaven's sake, she's supposed to be his partner in this. But Charles refused to back down. To him, slowing down meant failure. He knows the public is already looking at Prince William and Princess Kate, a source noted. People want the younger generation. And with Kate battling her own cancer fight, Charles feels he has to hold the monarchy together. He refuses to look weak. Camilla, however, didn't see it that way. She wants him to prioritize his recovery, the mole explained. She's seen firsthand how chemotherapy is wearing him out. But Charles doesn't want to hear it. He's in charge, and no one, not even Camilla, can tell him otherwise. The shocking will, a betrayal or a duty. As if the mounting tension between the couple weren't enough, news broke that Charles had left Camilla out of his will. For a woman who had stood by him through decades of scandal, ridicule, and adversity, this was a gut-wrenching blow. The decision wasn't impulsive. Sources revealed that it had been in the works for months. Camilla was in shock, an insider shared. After everything she's endured to become queen, this felt like a slap in the face. It felt like her years of loyalty didn't matter. And Charles? He's not budging. Behind the decision lies Charles's unshakable desire to secure the monarchy's future. By leaving his wealth and legacy primarily to his heirs, Prince William and his children, he ensures that the royal bloodline remains unbroken. Charles sees this as his duty, a source said. Camilla sees it as a betrayal. She's furious that he's disregarding her concerns, the insider added. Camilla has always been the voice of reason, the one who could calm him. Now, he's shutting her out, and it's driving a wedge between them. For King Charles, the crown comes first. For Camilla, the man she loves is slipping away, and there's nothing she can do to stop it. Watching someone you love work themselves into the ground is deeply unsettling, and in this case, it's Camilla's deepest fear, losing both her husband and her position in the monarchy. Camilla's struggle with the royal villa scandal. Adding to the already strained atmosphere between Queen Camilla and King Charles is the brewing controversy surrounding the royal villa scandal. The historic estate, once a cherished symbol of royal unity, has now become the epicenter of conflict. Camilla, acting without prior consultation, took control of the villa, sidelining the rest of the royal family's involvement in the property. Despite King Charles's clear directive that the estate should remain under joint ownership, Camilla decided otherwise. Her reasoning was reportedly that the villa should be hers alone to enjoy, free from shared obligations and interference. This bold, unorthodox move caused a stir among royal insiders. The villa holds a significant place in the monarchy's traditions and serves as a venue for royal gatherings. Camilla's actions were seen as not just bold but unauthorized, and to make matters worse, they were considered illegal under royal protocol. The most vocal critic of Camilla's actions was Princess Anne. To say she was displeased would be an understatement. That villa isn't hers to take, and reportedly confided. It belongs to the monarchy, not one individual. What makes Anne's reaction all the more significant is the fact that she had publicly praised Camilla in the past. In a BBC documentary, and had praised Camilla's role within the monarchy, commending her understanding of her position and her positive influence on King Charles. However, Anne's recent comments show a deepening rift between the two women. The controversial move over the villa is said to have exacerbated tensions within the royal family, with some sources claiming that it could be a contributing factor to the current state of King Charles's will and decisions about his legacy. Despite the growing controversy, Camilla appeared unfazed. While the royal family dealt with the fallout, she was spotted enjoying a night out at the theatre, opting for a low-key outing in a Ford Transit minibus instead of the usual royal Bentley. Her quiet defiance in the face of this storm only adds to the complexity of the situation. For Camilla, the stakes are high. Her position within the royal family, her relationship with Charles, and her place in the history of the monarchy all hang in the balance.